Salut les gadgets, c'est Victor Daviet et tu es en train d'écouter le Not Snowboarding podcast. Zouaba! I realized that I wasn't scared today. My goal is not to die, but I understood that death is part of life, you know. Life is made of a birth and a death. And between both, you have to enjoy as much as possible. Hey, it's Victor Daviet. You're now listening to the Not Snowboarding podcast. You.
This is episode number 55 of the Not Snowboarding podcast. I'm your host, Nate Mousson. I'm recording the introduction to this episode in a condo in wild, wonderful, and today windy Snowshoe West Virginia. It looks like I managed to break my microphone in my travels, so I apologize if you hear any extra noise like the wind that's beating up against the side of the condo. I'm here a couple of days in advance of the contest that the podcast is actually sponsoring. It's the first annual Oakley Berming Bank Slalom contest. My buddies Noah and With are out working on the course right now in the 50-mile-an-hour wind gusts, and the top of the course will be a traditional gated bank slalom. Then at the bottom, it'll open up into a mogul field called the Boneyard. I've actually been training for this event, and I totally plan on winning, so if you're interested in a chance to call yourself the second or third fastest snowboarder in West Virginia, clear your schedule this weekend and come out to Berming this Saturday, March 11th. This episode is sponsored by Hovland Snow Skates. I've been saying for a few years now that snow skating is what snowboarding used to be in the 80s and early 90s in terms of participation and acceptance by resorts. At the podcast camp last weekend, AJ had to go fully robed to be able to snow skate on the hill. And at my local mountain, they only allow it if you rig up a strap to put on your foot while you're on the lift, which to me I think kind of flies in the face of common sense, as it's much more likely to be dangerous and have the snow skate fall off of your foot if it's just loosely strapped on as opposed to just carrying it. But whatever, all I know is snow skating is super fun, especially on the small hills that I happen to live by. Check out HovlandSnowSkates.com and learn to skate the mountain. Huge thanks to everyone that's already jumped in and purchased a pair of the new Shred Soles skateboarding insoles. I've been getting so much positive feedback about how comfortable they're making everyone's feet. One favor though, if you happen to have used Amazon to purchase, please leave a review there. Those reviews will really help get the listing rising to the top as people are searching for foot comfort. If you're new to the podcast and wondering what I'm talking about, in addition to podcasting, I run an insole company called Shred Soles. We make the only snowboarding-specific insoles, and we just launched a super comfortable skateboarding and daily wear model. Check them out at www.shredsoles.com. Big thanks to everyone that's continued to click through the podcast Amazon banner ad before shopping on Amazon. Because of this, we're pretty much able to run the podcast at break even right now, which is hugely helpful. The banner ad is located at the Not Snowboarding Podcast website under support or at the bottom of each episode on the site. Bookmark it in your browser and click through on your way to Amazon. It won't cost you anything. Amazon just kicks us a small commission on whatever you buy. So how to describe Victor? He's a Frenchie. He's a student who's working on his master's degree. He's a surfer, a skydiver, a photographer, and most of all, he's someone that has really tapped into the ability to appreciate every second that he's experiencing in life. Let's jump right into the episode with Victor Daviet.
Is it recording?
Yeah, we're recording.
We're recording right at the start. This is it. We're podcasting right now.
Okay. I'm not sponsored by Red Bull, but fuck Red Bull.
Yes. I wanted to talk to you about that because
he actually does.
In The Eternal Beauty of Snowboarding, Jerome, he mentions the path of the snowboarder. They have the energy drink sponsor to fund their lifestyle, and they're pushing this on people that shouldn't have it, and you don't. So
no, I don't.
You're down with the Drink Water crew, right?
Yeah. They sent me a few products, and I don't know. I was super down to represent the movement, so I asked them to join. And I don't know. I really like the idea and the philosophy, because I think it's really important. And I don't know. I think it's pretty crazy that some riders are sponsored by those brands, but don't even drink the products, but they promote it, and the kids are drinking that poison. It doesn't make sense to me. I'd rather be be a little bit less rich or have less money, and sleep well at night. But I don't know. Apparently, some other riders think differently.
Have you ever considered?
I understand. It's some big money for some energy drink sponsors. So I also understand, but it's not my philosophy, at least.
I kind of feel like most of the energy drink companies are paying snowboarders the best, essentially. And I mean, at any point in your career, did you ever consider riding for their energy drink company?
Not really. No. I had some proposals from some brands who were natural energy drinks, but not really Monster or whatever.
But you still even those brands you weren't too down with?
No. At least maybe some tea brand, but natural tea or coconut water, stuff like that, I would be down, but except that, no. For sure.
Do you think there'll be a shift happening? Because I feel like I see those brands popping up a little more and sponsoring snowboarders and skaters, or skaters and snowboarders are starting those kind of brands. Do you think?
Yeah, Villager.
Yeah, like Villager. Exactly.
I don't know. I think it's, if we can take all the kids who are drinking poison, so energy drinks, and bring them to coconut water or natural tea, I think it would be healthier for them, and it would be better for everyone.
I'm always watching at contests, and when people that are sponsored by these companies are drinking out of the bottles, it's a water bottle, and lots of times it's water. And when I meet snowboarders in person that are sponsored by energy drink companies, I'm always watching, do they actually drink and use this product? And a surprising number of them, in my experience, do. They're actually drinking the Red Bull or the Monster or what have you, but there are a few that you'll notice if they have a water bottle with the logo on it, they're usually just drinking water.
Yeah, that's what I said. They don't drink the product because it's bad, and they know it. But they get the money. But then, we were talking shit, but on the other hand, they're bringing a lot of money into our poor industry, and for some stuff they do great. They will do they will show snowboarding to the mainstream, and they will sponsor some riders who do great stuff also, but all that to sell more poison. Don't forget it.
Did you see, I think it was Tampa Am, they had people that were obviously sponsored, kids that were sponsored by Red Bull and Monster and Rockstar, had Red Bull hats, and they were drinking just bottled water, clear bottles of water.
Yeah.
During the whole contest. I remember someone pointing that out. Look at this. They're not even covering it up.
That's why it doesn't make sense for me. I don't know why to drink poison, and I don't know. It's not my lifestyle. It's not what I want. But yeah, I think I hope that the kids will involve and change their mind. But I don't know. We'll see.
You mentioned the positive of them bringing money and exposure to our industry. And in the United States, I would say at best estimate, you could call the state of snowboarding flat. Many would say that it's been, receding or reduction in participation. What is the state of snowboarding in France or maybe even on a broader scale in Europe?
Okay, so I'm in the industry in Europe and France. At least, let's speak about France. First of all, France is really influenced by skiing. You have way more skiers than snowboarders in general. So it's kind of difficult. And I have the feeling that snowboarding is not that cool anymore. We passed the cool trend. Okay, snowboarding is new, it's fun, it's cool. it's partying, it's fun. So I have to think that there are less and less snowboarders, but the snowboarders who are left are way more core and concerned about snowboarding. So there are maybe less snowboarders, but cooler.
I've always had this contrarian thing where most of the snowboarding industry wants to do every little program they can to get more people on snow so we continue to have growth. And I feel like you don't have to get more people on snow. I feel like what you just said is exactly the right thing in some ways. It might not be the best thing for businesses in snowboarding, but people that truly love it will do it.
Yeah, sure. And I mean, I'm not ready to stop. No, for sure. Then, it depends on the point of view, you know. But as I just said, my point of view is like, rather have less but more concern, more into like real snowboarding. And that's the point with the eternal beauty of snowboarding. It shows like the real passion we have about snowboarding. And I was thinking about it, like for me, it's one of the best movie. You know, Joe, my friend, made it, and I cried 5 times watching for the first time the movie. I cried 5 times because I was laughing too much. You know, it's all our jokes of the past 3 years in a 40 minutes movie. So you know, for me, it's like super fun, and it's like a lot of good memories. But you know, if a mother, like a random mother in the street, sees that movie, she will think like, there is no way that my kids are gonna snowboard one day. You know, snowboarders are only like retarded as possible. You know, it's not possible. I don't want my kids to be like that. Party, smoke joints, fuck girls. You know, have that crazy lifestyle. I don't know, but like, a mother, like a regular mother, wouldn't like his son to be like that, or at least I think. But
depends on the mother.
Depends on the mother. But anyway, who cares? We need like some people who don't do a sport. We need some people who are really passionate about snowboarding. So fuck it if like the mother or the new kids won't like that movie or won't like snowboarding. But at least the people who saw that movie and who think that it's a good movie will be really into snowboarding, and they will be core, and they will be, okay, snowboarding is not a sport. It's like a real passion. It's a lifestyle. It's different.
I've been critical of snowboard videos on the podcast in the past because, from my opinion, they miss that piece that shows everything that the eternal beauty of snowboarding captured, which is not just great snowboarding. There's 100 great snowboarding videos, and then there's 1,000 great snowboarding Instagram channels, and then there's 1 million great, accessible ones on YouTube for just great riding. But there's that other thing. If you've ever been on a snowboarding trip and you build these relationships with your friends and you start having these jokes where you can look at each other and just based on the experience of that trip, say one word and it can mean so much. Communicating that on film has been missed over the past 20 years from my opinion, but that video, The Eternal Beauty of Snowboarding, hit the nail on the head.
Yeah, sure. Yeah. And we've been pushing him, like, I don't know. I think that his philosophy was really good, and he put so much effort without any money, like, to make that movie. And now he won an award and stuff, but he's so broke. But anyway, fuck it. He's so stoked. He achieved his 3 years project, and he's so stoked. And yet, he doesn't care about the money. He's just so stoked that the people really understood what he wanted to say, and we all all the people who liked it agreed on what is snowboarding and why we snowboard. And I think it's the main point.
What were some of the parts that made you laugh?
Like all the time you can see Victor do shit, or Yanne, or the filmers. Also some writers that I didn't know, I don't know, everything for me was like really fun. And also like the sick part, like sick. Oh, also like the American when he makes fun of the Americans, I think it's pretty fun.
I like the guy with like surfing. I don't know how to say it. Like he kept sticking his head out the window and putting his face in the snow.
Sure, Bobus. Yeah, Bobus. Yeah, it's a good friend. So I don't know. All that is, I don't know. For me, it was really good memories, and we're just laughing about ourselves and making fun of ourselves. So it was, for me, it's fun.
You mentioned,
and, I totally assume, like, I totally like, yeah, I take it. I don't care. We're like that, and that's it.
You mentioned the other Victor. Do you have like a rivalry?
What?
With the other Victor, are you guys like, what's the best way to put it? Do you try to prank each other or something?
Oh no, we're really good friends, and we've been like building our career together. So we never. Do you mean like we're competitors or something?
Yeah, sure.
Friendly competition.
Yeah.
Not at all. Like we've been writing a lot together, and we've been like pushing ourselves together. I think on many backcountry sessions. Like, okay, we had the same ideas. Like, okay, let's build like big poppy jumps, and then we're like, okay, let's go crazy. And okay, if you do that trick, okay, it will give me the motivation to do another trick, and we were kind of like pushing each other on the jumps. So I never seen Victor as a competitor for sure.
Can you explain the photo where you see Victor's butt and there's like a soccer ball?
Do you know Muff? So Muff is a soccer game where you don't need any field or whatever. You just need a ball, and it's kind of like a game where you have to do passes, and if you miss 3 times the passes, you have to get your butt shot. And during in May, we did a trip with Vans and Act Snowboarding, the French magazine, with some RVs around the passes in the Alps from south to north. So it was a really cool road trip. At the end of May, it was the end of the season, and I don't know, we were on the down days, we were playing Muff, and for sure we're kicking each other's ass. It was fun.
So it's called Math, like MATH?
No, it's Muff. MUF.
Muff.
Oh.
You know, Louis plays a lot at this game. And, I don't know, all the Jeebers mostly.
I've never...
The backcountry riders play Uno. We play Uno. They play Muff.
Uno, or you call it not like Mau Mau or something?
Mau, yeah. Because once we were in Austria and we had no choice. There wasn't any Uno. It was a similar game called Mau Mau. So once we had a Mau Mau, but usually we play Uno. It's just Mau Mau was just for fun.
So what's like if you lose? So if you lose at Muff, you have to have like a soccer ball kicked at your bare ass. So in exactly. Uno or Mau Mau, what do you have to do if you lose? What's the punishment?
We've been betting everything. I mean everything. We play everything. Like we will cook a dinner. We will go down a slope blind. We will eat like a full plate without end or blind. we will I don't know, whatever. We will not take the car and hitchhike home, or like, I don't know, all the stupid things we've been playing. We know for that.
What's the worst one?
Many bets. I think I've been playing more Uno games than I've been snowboarding. Like you know, if we say one day of snowboarding against one game of Uno, I've been doing more Uno games than snowboarding day in my life for sure. Only during my snowboard career. We play every night. We play Uno for everything till we have good bets for the next day, and we keep on going like that.
What's the worst time you've lost? Like, what's the worst thing you've had to do when you've lost?
I think that Victor has to pee on my face.
What?
Is what?
Victor, the other Victor, had to spit on my face.
Oh, I thought you said pee.
No, pee, it would have been a possibility too, but it wasn't that.
That's pretty bad.
Did Victor lose when you put a dildo in his mouth to wake him up?
No, he was just too drunk.
No. Prank.
He was just too drunk. I don't know. Yeah, we've been playing some really stupid stuff, and I don't know. I love Uno. I love, in general, I love every kind of game, and I think that life is a kind of game where we are all playing the same game. And I don't know. I like different. I like the sensation to play and the risk and stuff. So I don't know. I'm a gamer, I would say. I like to play.
Gotta play the game. Gotta play. Win. You ever gamble?
No.
It's like
no, not really. Every kind of other games, but I'm not really a gambler. It's not that popular here,
Oh, casinos?
No, yeah, we have a casino here, but I don't know. None of my friends are playing. I could be really into it. When I find a passion, I'm like 100% into it.
You come out here, they have like tons of casinos. I live pretty close to Nevada. Well, Tahoe is like half in Nevada.
Yeah.
And there's a decent amount of casinos, especially in Reno. There's a ton of casinos.
Yeah, Reno is famous for that.
Yeah. People are super into gambling. Playing whatever.
Depends, but not for me. Not for me yet, at least. We never know.
Yeah, you could one day move on.
On this life, you never know. Everything can happen.
Maybe you can use your business degree and start the first Uno casino.
Uno casino? That would be rad. Yeah.
So you mentioned that you like building jumps, right? So do you have like a jump crew?
I don't know why, but I'm really passionate about building jumps, make the perfect transition, find the perfect angle with the adapt the kicker to the terrain and stuff. I don't know. I'm really passionate, and I've been shaping a lot, and I'm usually in charge of the shape. I like to manage okay, we're gonna put the blocks this way. We're gonna build it like that, and I don't know. It's like a kid game, I would say. You build your castle, and then you play inside, and it's kind of like that,
You think pro snowboarders are just big kids and really grow up?
Honestly, I think we're all big kids.
So I'm more like the kind of guy that just magically appears when the jump's built. What do you think of me?
It depends on the jumps. I mean, if we've been shaping 2 days, because we shape like big kickers, and we spend all our energy into shaping. I mean, we will invite you to jump for sure, but if you do it 2-3 times in a row, we're no way. This one you will
just cut
as a motherfucker till death.
What I was wondering, because it seems like you build jumps at a resort. It seems like a little bit in the backcountry resorts.
Yeah,
is that right?
It's easier, Sometimes we do some kickers on passes and stuff.
Okay.
Or, if you have to, because we haven't got any sled or early in Europe.
Yeah, why? So why is that? That was the other question I had.
So we walk a lot. So if you use the lift to access to a zone, you walk less, so you save energy. But then, anyway, you will have to go in the backcountry next to the resort. You shape 8 hours. Then the next day you come back and you ride. But still, it's a lot of energy. But if you add to that like 2 or 3 hours of hiking plus shaping, and the next day 3 hours, and then you come to your jump and you hike all day to jump, then you're destroyed. So it's a lot of hiking in Europe, and it takes a lot of energy. Honestly, it's insane. At some point, I can see like with my friends, with Victor and stuff, at some point we are like out of energy, out of service. We can't do anything. We're too tired.
That's why I show up when it's all just built. I got to save my energy.
Yeah, but it's kind of selfish. Just try. I totally understand your strategy. But it's kind of
Nate's been known to be selfish. But but seriously, like how do if it's at a resort, how do you stop people, like anyone, from either like hitting the jump?
Anyway, like some spots are like quite close from the resort, but we try to go as far as possible.
Okay.
We try to go as far as possible, so we're chill. We're on our side in the mountains, and we just talk to the people. Like usually they're friendly and they understand what we do. We do. So we usually haven't got any troubles.
Have you ever had anyone maybe unknowingly like not hit the jump, but maybe like ride through the landing because it's like fresh POW, so they like ride through and be like, oh cool POW, and they like.
That's for sure. Yeah, it happens many times, but in the end, whatever. There is a track in the landing, except if it's like a big track. But usually we don't really care. Like we've been shaping 1 or 2 full days for that, so we just ride it. If it's not dangerous, because like for example, the tracks could get harder if they're from the days before.
Okay.
But if it's not dangerous, I don't care. It's okay. It won't be as nice on the shot, but whatever. It's a track on the landing.
It's more about the trick. It's more about.
No, But in the end, who cares? It's a track in the landing. We snowboarders care, but in the end, it's nothing bad.
Yeah. So why can't you have snowmobiles or helicopters in Europe?
So snowmobiles, because it's not allowed. It's not allowed because we have many like natural parks, and we want to save the wildness, the animals, and we want to keep it quiet. And I think anyway we don't really need snowmobiles because we haven't got many terrains to access to the like we have big terrains, but it's super steep, and I'm not sure if it would really work. For sure it would help because we would save so much energy, but I think we don't really need some, and it's better like that. But when I go to the US and when I have a sled, I realize that it's 2 different sports. Honestly, it's crazy. I wouldn't say it's easier because when you're a bad sledder as me, it's super tiring to sled.
Okay.
But honestly, you can do as many try as you want, and it's pretty useful sometimes.
Have you ever been stuck like really bad?
Stuck really bad
with a sled in powder somewhere?
No, but I've been a pain in the ass for the cruise. Yeah, like the small Frenchie getting stuck at every meter. Like, sorry, I'm stuck. Can you help me? Sorry, I'm stuck. Can you help me?
Yo, call the tow truck. Call the tow sled.
Yeah.
Tow me out. Call AAA.
So yeah, I won't say I'm the best sledder. But I don't know. I think it's fun. It's fun to do a little bit of everything. Then in France, we can't heli. But in Italy, Switzerland, you can heli, but it's super expensive and it's not that popular.
What about split boarding? You've got all this walking to do across the resort. Why don't you use a split?
Yeah. So now we did a few kickers with Thomas Delfino this year where we use our split board to go up to access to the kicker with our boards our freestyle board in the back, because you go faster then you save more energy than hiking with snowshoes. So we've been splitboarding a lot, even for backcountry kickers. Taking 2 boards in the backcountry.
But there's still not a split that it would be the one board that would also work for jumps.
I don't know. I don't feel until now. I never felt as comfortable as a freestyle board. If you do like really big kicker, I'm not sure. I'm not sure yet, at least. But yeah, I guess it will come. At least for free ride lines or for pillows and small kickers, splitboard works. But if you do like big jumps, I haven't got the same feeling.
Have you tried any big jumps on a split?
I got enough with like small jumps and medium jumps.
Yeah, you just want, if you're going to hit something big, you want to go with what you know works.
Exactly. Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I wouldn't take the risk to just go there with one board or to try with.
So you have a handful of nicknames, right? Vic, Vicul, did I say that correct?
Vicui means like it's a kind of the beginning of Vic, so Victor, and the end of Kui, which means balls. So it's Vic balls, kind of. Vic balls, for the translation.
Dandy.
Yeah, where did that come from?
Dandy, because I don't really skateboard, so I don't really put some skateboarding shoes, as every snowboarder. So, I have like different shoes. I'm sponsored by Nixon, so I like watches. And anyway, I had a few fancy girlfriends. So all my friends, because I dress a little bit differently, all my friends are calling me Dandy. I like boat shoes because they're super comfy, and that's my favorite kind of shoes. And for all that, they call me Dandy.
Well, that's European culture. I was in Switzerland once, and I was just like, all these dudes are like, they're just dressed up really, really well, and that's just the culture there.
Yeah, kind of like. For the snowboarding scene, it seems weird. For the like all my friends who are not into snowboarding, it's kind of casual.
Yeah,
but it shocks a little bit the friends from the snowboarding.
Snowboarders are kind of bums, I guess. Dress like they wear hoodies and ripped up skate shoes.
Now I make fun of my friends because like they're getting older and they're trying to steal my shirts or can I borrow your jacket? And like, yeah, for sure you can, man.
They're trying to dress nicer, a little more sophisticated.
Just saying, last month you were making fun of me and now you're stealing my jacket. So, I don't know. But yeah, for all those reasons, I don't know. I don't really care. I just want to wear what I want to wear and that's it.
What about, I can't even say this one, TCHOUL?
Chul?
Yeah.
Chul. So I used to knit a few years back when I was at the high school. And I was in a sport high school, so in a boarding school. And I was knitting beanies, making my own beanies.
Yeah.
With wool, because my grandmother taught me how to make some beanies. So I was knitting. And once I did a really ugly beanie, way too wide. But I just finished it, so I was like, fuck it, I'm gonna wear it at least once. And all my friends at the boarding school were like, ha ha ha, your beanie is so ugly and you look like a Rasta man, And Rasta man, we have a word for Rasta man, which is true. So they used that word as a nickname, and it stayed for until now. It's like still on. But it's pretty fun because it's like calling me Rasta, but I have a dandy style, so it doesn't really work. So it's pretty fun.
Your friends are ruthless, man.
My friends are kind of, yeah. But I mean, in general, into snowboarding, people love to make fun of each other. Yeah. And I think it's cool, because at least you go through making fun of the other to say what you want to say. So in the snowboard trips, we're never arguing. We all put that on humor, and we're never in trouble with each other because we always say what we think.
Yeah, it seems like a way to gauge someone's ability to just be cool. I don't know, like if you can kind of joke with someone and make fun of them a little bit, and they could handle it, then you're like, okay, then they can handle other things,
Yeah, sure.
It just seems like a kind of a natural, like if they can't, if it's like too weird, then it's, what can't you handle?
Yeah.
Or you're going to want to be around you, really.
You kind of cut right to it earlier too when you said that, and over maybe the span of 2 different points in our conversation so far, that we're just big kids, and that all these things aren't that serious, whether it's high marking the landing or anything else. And by a little bit of like ribbing and jabbing your friends all the time, it's just constantly putting your ego back in that spot. Like, right. Yeah, he just said this about me, but it's not that serious. It was funny.
For me, it's a way of communicating, and it's not a bad way. And, it's good to touch each other egos a little bit.
So when you were younger doing some knitting, is this where you got the idea for your neckwear company?
Yeah, a little bit. But my grandmother knows how to... Oh, I forgot the word, sorry. How to make clothes and stuff really well. So once I asked her for a neck warmer, and this is how it started. Like just naturally. And then my friends were like, oh, that's cool. Can I have one? So I asked my grandmother to make some. And then I made some a little bit, but she was better than me. Or she made fun of me like, come on, Victor, this is not how you're supposed to do it. So I'm going to teach you. But then she was like, okay, I'm going to make you some more. And then we started to sell some a little bit. And now we're still selling some, but everybody is super busy. So we're kind of slow we're not really onto growth or whatever. We just sell some like that. And the people are stoked. It's cool. If not, we don't care. We learned a lot to do that brand. Like, how to do a brand was really interesting for all of us. So it was great.
Did it help you with your other sponsors, like understanding how they work and what you can do to help them?
Sure. It helped me a lot for everything. For like my life in general, like different experiences for my school and for snowboarding.
Talk about an organic story too. I mean, it's not like you had this idea and then found somebody in another country to produce it less expensive. I mean, that's the traditional business model now over here. You guys had a problem and made something to solve it, and it was good and people wanted it.
Yeah, no, it worked super well, but I don't know. We've been a little bit lazy, and now my brother will have more time and he will work a little bit more on it. And I hope it will be like, at some point it will come like super serious. And I would be stoked on that,
Did you ever make like a... Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, like if like we're doing that brand with my brother and a really good friend of us from he's from the same hometown than us in Gap. And if one of us could live from that brand, it would be unreal, because it started like out of nothing. Like, hey, grandma, can you make me a neck warmer? What? Neck warmer?
My neck's cold.
What do you mean?
Make me a scarf.
Yeah, exactly. So it would be bad, if at some point we make something out of it.
Did you ever make like a full face mask?
Yeah.
Because I want to I have a face mask, but they're like too short in the neck. It covers your face, but then the neck is like exposed. So I want to combine like the neck warmer like a little bit longer face mask because I like having my nose covered and just like my eyes and my mouth open, and then like a longer. And it's like it's been tough to find the right face mask. I've been looking around. I got a cold neck. I need to wear two. I need to wear a neck warmer and a face mask, and just sew it together.
We're gonna solve that problem. No.
Hey, thank you. Merci beaucoup, mon ami.
Avec plaisir, mon cher.
So is everything still being constructed by grandma, like in-house, or have you scaled up to like
grandma working in the
do you have other people?
It's like we're having some problem because like we're growing a little bit, luckily not too much, but we're still growing, and my grandmother is getting older and older. So we are having a few issues, or at least we will have a few issues soon. So we'll need to find some more grandmas or find like different techniques. But yeah,
grandma better get to work
that way at least.
If there's any grandmas in French listening, there's an opportunity for you.
Got some work for you. I'm gonna make a little extra money. You're retired.
Yeah, come on.
And what is the name of the company? I don't think that we've mentioned it.
What?
What is the name of the company? I don't think we've mentioned it yet.
PAG.
PAG neckwear.
Yeah, PAG neckwear. Why PAG? Because this is what we were writing on the tables at the high school with my brother. You know, we're like doing graffitis and stuff, and we're just tagging that like all the way in the high school, like everywhere in the high school. And it just started like that. It was just natural to like call our brand like that.
Did it have any other meaning? Just PAG, you guys just made it up?
We're from Gap, and it's like GAP, PAG.
Ah.
It's not like a weird way to say pog. You're into like playing with pogs.
No, it wasn't that. Hey, could have been. No.
My youngest brother has a huge pog collection just sitting, man. You want me to send them your way?
Pog was so fun. The good old days with Pog. It was fun.
I used to have a slammer that was like
it would be fun to like
bring it back.
To bring some more exotics to like instead of Uno, we could play Pog for and play bets with Pogs. It would be fun.
They can have snowboarding Pogs. Have snowboarders on the Pogs. It could be like trading cards, but with Pogs, and then you can play. You can slam it down, and take all their Pogs.
Could be unique, I would say.
I never understood it, but it was like a phenomenon, right? Can you explain kind of what Pogs are?
So Pogs are small circles of cardboard, and I used to play that at school, and it was super trendy at some point at school. So everybody had some flat circles of cardboard, made of cardboard, and you had to make them spin. And if you were like doing if the cardboard the circle was doing a 180 kind of, you were like winning them, and everybody was crying, you stole my Pog. No, I won them. No, it's not true. It wasn't the right technique. You were too far and too close. I have some really like tragic memories of like Pogs games. You know, the parents coming to me like, give the Pogs back to my kid. You didn't win them. What? Your kid was just a loser.
Wow, you were savage as a kid.
I'm still savage.
That's the only part I remember was something happened where my youngest brother, was coming home with all these things, and then next thing you know, there was like a big phone call one night between parents because he had somebody else's or something. I was pretty much out of the house then, but I just remember the drama around it.
Yeah. Could be dramatic.
It's kind of like gambling. I mean, it's kind of like having money and then playing a game, and you could lose that money.
Yeah, because it's quite expensive.
Yeah.
It's quite expensive.
I remember playing with bogs. I just kind of collected them. Like I used to be into collecting things, like something would be popular and then I started getting more of them and then having them and then like, all right, I have a collection. And then like, this is kind of useless. I'm not doing it. It just sits there. You look at it, the collection.
Yep.
So there's all this stuff that we're able to know about you from social media, but what is something that people don't know about you? Something that you're into?
Nowadays, I'm really into analog photography. I really like it. Honestly, I'm more and more into it, but nothing like I did a snowboard series, but I'm more and more inspired by like girls and weird stuff, mostly weird stuff. I went to a funeral last week and I was like, I want to shoot funerals because I think that the vibe was kind of weird and it was kind of beautiful, like everybody coming to that place to celebrate the last time with somebody. So whatever. I'm more and more inspired by weird stuff, and I like analog photography. And now people don't know much about like all my school part, but I'm really into school. For me, snowboarding is like a real passion. It's not a job, even if it takes all my time. And some people could say, yeah, it's your passion, but come on, it's your job. For me, it's a real passion. It's not like a real job. I just love snowboarding, and that's it. So to prepare the after snowboarding, I study quite a lot into some online classes program for the sportsmen, and it's pretty cool. I like studying, honestly. I don't know, it's not a pain in the ass to just study after snowboarding. I like it. I think it's important, and we play enough, I think, in the snow, so it's cool to do different things with your brain. And I'm pretty sure that it will be useful at some point.
Do you have a direction in mind that you'll take your education as far as applying it to a job or a career later?
So I did a few internships. Recently, I did one at Nixon. It was really fun. At the marketing at Nixon. But I think I will take more like another direction. Not like I don't think I can work in an office all my life. So I would like to build and create my own company, like another company as PAG, but different. I don't know. I would like to do different stuff because I realized last month, after 2 months into an office, that we are used to a kind of freedom, and it's hard to sit in front of a computer all day. And also, it's hard to have a boss, We're used to that crazy freedom, and I think now it's going to be hard to just go into a normal life, I would say.
What was the hardest part about the internship? Was it the waking up early or something else?
No, it's not really that. It's, you lose a kind of freedom. You have a boss. You work your ass so hard for not that much money to make the investors richer.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't care about working my ass off for my money, or to work a lot to help some people, but to make the investors richer, I'm not sure.
Right.
I'm not sure if I'm ready to sit in front of a desk, like at a desk during like 9 hours a day for that. I don't think so. I'd rather do it for myself.
It kind of seems like a waste to do that when you're in your physical prime in life, you know?
I totally agree.
Yeah, it seems like you should just be, active. Like if you're obviously an active person, but a lot of people are too, and why not spend as much of that time being active as you can? And then, it seems like I almost feel like as humanity, we could structure life differently in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
And I've never worked in an office. I mean, I was a student. That was the closest I got, but I never really worked in an office. It's always been like working outside, essentially.
Yeah.
I don't know. I dread it. I'm scared of it.
Yeah, but there's some stuff for everyone. We have different personalities, and some people don't like to be outside, and they're like, no, it's gonna be cold, it's gonna be difficult, too physical. And I'd rather have like my kind of routine with my boyfriend. We will watch movie every night after work, and it's gonna be awesome. We are gonna go hiking. No, not hiking. It's too physical in the weekend. But we will go partying at a club in the weekend, and then we'll be hangover on Sunday and do the same thing the next weekend because we'll be working all week. I don't know. Some people like it like that.
Yeah.
Some other like. There are some stuff for everybody, and everybody is different, and I respect that.
So when
I guess I just dread that lifestyle, and I'm afraid someday it'll happen to me. I don't know how to avoid it.
Yeah, same. I had a girlfriend like that, and after like 4 years, you just realize like there is no way that guy is gonna change. He's a kid. He loves snowboarding more than me. What the fuck I'm doing here?
I had to drop her.
So when you're building this business in what we'll call your after snowboarding life, which I don't know if that'll ever truly happen to you, but will you build it in snowboarding or will you pick another industry?
That's the question I'm asking myself, to be honest. I think like the snowboarding scene is really awesome. Like everybody I met into snowboarding was a good person. I never met a fucking asshole into snowboarding. I don't know about you guys, but I never went on a trip where I'm like, what the fuck is that guy? That guy honestly sucks. We're all in the same mood. We all understand each other. And I don't know. I think that there are a lot of good people into the snowboarding scene. Maybe at some point I would like to see like some different people, like meet different cultures and stuff. But I have the feeling that it's just to prove myself that snowboarding is too cool. So probably I would come back to snowboarding at some point.
Mm. Yeah.
But, I love like different experiences. Like I like to change atmosphere and adapt myself to different stuff. Because I don't know, I like to change. I like the changes. I don't like any routine or whatever. I don't know. I need to do stuff all the time, and I think that we have one life. We need to live like every fucking second of that life, and I don't know. I don't want to get bored. I want to move.
So maybe something that crossed over was not only snowboarding, but also beneficial somewhere else.
My first goal is to snowboard as much as possible, and I realized that in front of a computer during like 9 hours a day at Nixon, I was like, honestly, working at Nixon is awesome. Like you can surf at lunch, all the crew is so nice. But now, what you want to do is go snowboarding, and you have the chance to the sponsors give you the chance to snowboard as much as possible. You should enjoy as much as possible that chance.
I agree.
Yeah.
So
I wanted to ask about something you mentioned a little bit earlier, like shooting photos at a funeral. Did you take photos when you were at this funeral?
No, I didn't have my camera. I think it's, a good friend of mine died at the funeral. He died, I don't know, 6 months ago. But it was he was my age and he was super sad and stuff. And during the funeral, one guy was shooting pictures and it was so annoying. But so you need to do it quite discreetly and with the family and stuff. Because I think you can capture some strong atmosphere, it's such a big thing, and it's just like everybody was like not like used to like this person a lot, and they were all super shocked, and they just want to do like a last move for that person. I think like it's super powerful and super strong emotions, and I think it would be nice to capture that sometimes with pictures.
Yeah, when you first said that, the first thing that popped into my mind was that everybody likes the wedding photographer. He's this goofy guy that doesn't have to dress up as much as the rest of the people there. You know, he's really dressing up if he wears a tie with his collared shirt, right? And, you know, he's around making everybody smile and doing poses and everything, but nobody even thinks about a funeral photographer. I've never even thought about it till you said that.
Yeah.
That to me means there's a lot of opportunity there potentially.
Yeah. Okay, now we can start a business, and I think that in the US it would work way better than in France. Okay.
Why?
You're more. We're too strict, I would say, and too like, you know, it's too different, and people wouldn't like it, I think.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's even a little. I think the death industry is a little weird in general. Like I grew up behind a funeral home, you know?
Because I think that people are scared to die.
They're scared to die.
I'm not. I realized that I wasn't scared to die. Like my goal is not to die, but I understood that death is part of life, you know. Life is made of a birth and a death. And between both, you have to enjoy as much as possible.
When did you realize that?
What?
When did you realize that?
This year.
Really?
Buddy had that avalanche in Alaska, and it was tough. And then that friend died, and I don't know. I realized that, wow, okay, now I was enjoying life, but now 300%. Like in my like the people around me, like some people are scared to die, and like they're like, oh, death, oh, funerals, that sucks. I'm like, yeah, it sucks, but it's life, you know, you can't escape that.
I kind of like I think when I saw Dylan Reeder, like when he died, I saw like a lot on Instagram, you know, like all the skaters I follow, and then I saw some photos like kind of from his funeral at the Hollywood Forever Cemetery, and there's a lot of people, and there's even like some of his friends like painted their nails black, like Dylan Reeder like painted his nails, and they like showed that, and there was just like different moments like that where it was a really, really sad thing. He was like obviously like super talented, and he died young, and it seemed kind of sudden for a lot of people, but then just seeing that, it seemed like there was a lot of people that really cared, and there's moments, and it seemed like someone who doesn't know at all like made a bigger impression to see that, you know. And it didn't seem like exploiting, like just seemed like more of a celebration a little bit of his life and the impact he had. It'd be really tough to like, you know, you have to do it very sincerely, just like present something like that to the world.
And it got a lot of people talking about death too. You know, to your point, it was you're born and you die. Those are guarantees. The thing that got me to the point that you're at, where I'm not afraid of death, is I had read something from a philosopher when I was younger that said there's more than what you just said. You know, we have the scope that we know about, that is birth to death. But what about everything before your birth? You've already been dead. Most of existence, you were dead. So what's the big deal?
Yeah, that's the big deal.
Do you have any thoughts around spirituality or religion?
Not really. my mother is a Buddhist, and I've been for sure influenced a little bit about Buddhism. But for sure, I'm not Christian. I don't know. I'm not really into religion at all. I think there are some good small things to pick up inside religions, like at least into Buddhism. But except that, I'm not really for religions, especially when you see all the wars and stuff made of religions. I think it's pretty retarded.
Yeah. And Buddhism is flexible. It's not really a religion, is my understanding, is that there are Christians who are also Buddhists. There are Muslims who are also Buddhists. It's kind of more of a, not a religion, but maybe a guideline to live by.
Yeah, sure.
Super interesting. At no point did I expect that we would be talking about death. Let's try to pivot a little bit and go to photography. Avron Lefebvre, the angry snowboarder.
We're all gonna die.
Yeah, we're all gonna die. The angry snowboarder here in the States, a very popular blogger and friend, asked a question. He said, would you guys talk about Almo films and internet exposure versus analog exposure? So that's kind of a lot. Maybe we could parse it out and start with analog versus digital / internet.
Okay, let's do this. So yeah, analog for me, it's like until now I never really showed anything, but just I got a fun partnership with Lomography, which is an analog camera brand. And I started with those cameras, and I don't know. They sent me a few cameras for that trip around the passes in the Alps last May, and I did a series for them. And then they scanned the pictures and they spread it online. I was stoked because I think it was a fun series, and I really enjoyed doing it with all the friends. But yeah.
And this is a film camera, right?
It's a film camera. Yeah, it's 100% analog. But then we scanned the film, and we did some articles, and we spread some pictures online. So in the end, it was almost as digital photography, but with analog style. Which is cool, but yeah, it's hard now. We show all the work like on internet, so it's mainly I don't know.
It's kind of like extra steps for texture, right? You can't just click and load it up to the internet.
Yeah, no, it's. For me, analog photography is something like totally different, You won't shoot everything. You will take one picture and you will really think about the picture you're going to take. And because you take only a picture every week or every month, or sometimes like 2 or 3 pictures a day, but maximum, you really think about your pictures, and you will develop your film in 6 months, and then it's such a big surprise. Like, is it gonna work? Is that picture worked? Oh, I didn't remember that I took that picture. It's so nice. Oh, fuck. It was a disaster or whatever. So it's always like a big surprise, and it's kind of like a small game. Like, did I make it or not? Bam, no. Oh, yes, I made it. So I don't know. I like that small analog game, I would say. But
seems like
the main thing is that the pictures are way more powerful, because you really thought about the picture. For me, I have it captured the instant, it captured the memory, and it's way stronger than a digital picture. And that's the main point about analog photography.
It seems like there's so much more value. Like, instead of like what you were saying about how you live in a tourist area and people have take iPhone photos or whatever, and they just take a selfie and it doesn't matter. as much. It's easy and they can delete it easily, and they just don't think about it. Like whenever people like will say, "Hey, like, can you take our photo?" And I'm like, "Sure." And I try to take a couple and try to like compose it a little bit. They're like, "Oh, you just need to like, you don't have to think that much."
Yeah.
Like you just take the photo and it doesn't matter. And I'll take like a few and like, oh, we just want one. And like, why wouldn't you want a few to pick from? And like maybe a little different. But I think it's, when you have to shoot analog, like I've never shot with like Lomography or Lomo camera, but it seems like there's just so much more thought and effort put into it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you develop your own film too?
The thing that the picture are staying, the films are there. You have the films. It's not some gigs into a hard drive,
Yeah.
We don't know what's going to happen with those gigs, The technology is evolving so much every year. Like, do you remember we had CDs, we had tapes, we have like small USB key, and it's, I don't know, I'm pretty bad for technologies, so I'm maybe scared of technologies, and I don't know where is it gonna go. But at least I have those films. I know it will stay forever, and I haven't got the same feeling with my digital pictures.
To that point of technology progressing, my father sent me a gift this holiday season. He said, "Did you get it? Did it arrive?" And then he said, "Do you have a Blu-ray player still?" And I was like, "I do, but I haven't used it in so long, it's been disconnected." So it's just like that progression, like that's going out the window. You're right. That's an old piece of technology where if it was a photo that he had sent me, I would just have the photo. It would be that simple. What were you going to say, AJ?
Oh, is it the photo? I think it's Victor. I think it's Victor Delarue. It's like the over the road gap with like the one, like the forward. I was gonna say tuck knee 1-footer, but he's not really tucking his back knee. He's like kicking it out. Yeah, it's like an indie. Yeah. I'd never seen that one before, and like that was with a Lomo camera.
Yeah, it was with a Lomo camera.
So I was wondering like how shooting action with those. It didn't seem like an action camera to me. But that seems like a really sick photo.
It's like a sick photo, but I usually never shoot action with analog cameras. It was just like for that series, it was making sense to have a little bit of snowboarding. And for sure, we've been shooting with so many good photographers, so we know at least a little bit how to shoot like an action picture. So right. I tried a few. I tried only 3 on that spot, and I don't know. I was pretty psyched on the result, especially on that one. And it's kind of sharp, so I was surprised, because Victor was going fast, and I don't know. That camera is pretty, can go fast.
So to the other part of Averin's question, what's up with Almo Films?
Almo Films. Almo Films. So it's not the first production I've been shooting with. It's probably the second one. But they contribute a lot to like what we are now for Victor, Thomas, Delfino, me, also like all the new generation in France and also in Europe. So yeah, they're like, they started by a regular movie Tricks, which was cool. I think like we had a few good parts, especially in Drôle de Vie. We had our first really good video parts with like double corks, cool like backcountry tricks, and at least we were really stoked on this one. And then Morgan, the producer, was kind of like bored about all the snowboard movies, tricks. So now he's more, for now 2 years, he's taking like another direction, which is like he's trying to document and show to the mainstream people what's a snowboarder. What's like a snowboarder? Like, he does crazy stuff, but he's cool. He travels a lot. He does stupid Uno games every night. And it's trying to show to the people who don't snowboard what's happening. And I think it's cool in a way. I honestly think like it's cool, and because I think he's doing it in a cool way. So it's a totally different direction because, like, you know, the filming is super clean, super well stuff. But I don't know. I think we need a little bit of everything.
And the name of the series that's being released right now?
What?
Oh, the name of the Almo film series that's being released right now is
Crétin des Alpes.
What does that mean?
Crétin des Alpes. It's retarded from the Alps.
Whoa.
Yeah, but in a fun way, because you can see have you seen the intro?
Yeah.
The intro explained that back in the days, we called the people like were living far in the valleys, in the mountains, some crétins, so kind of like similar than like stupid or retarded. Not like, it's not a nice word, but it's not that bad, you know. It's like you're stupid, you're a crétin, you know.
When I was a kid, on cartoons like Bugs Bunny and those sorts, they would use the word, it was more English, like, so cretin, you're a cretin, like you're an idiot.
Yeah, it's exactly that word. So it works in English. I didn't even know that.
It's been a long time since I've heard it, but yeah.
So in the mountains, that's everything is explained in Almo's intro. But in the mountains, people were looking for some salt who didn't have any iod. I think it's the word, you know. So it was a bad salt who was making the people kind of stupid, and that's why they call the crétin. And he played with that story in the intro, and the intro is honestly like, the voice is in French, but it's like really, really good, and we had some really good feedbacks about that intro.
Wow. I didn't realize that cretin equated to retard, though. That's funny that words become so...
Like, it's a kind of famous sentence, you know? Like, stupid guys from the Alps mean crétin des Alpes. You know, it's quite popular here.
But you're a dandy, so you don't really, like, you're not lumped in with them. You're like a city boy.
I'm a city boy, but I love camping. I love hiking. I love sleeping into sketchy igloos. I would say I'm a mix of everything. If you tell me tomorrow, okay, let's sleep in the street, I will sleep in the street. I don't care. But if you tell me, like, let's go to a fancy club tomorrow, I will like, okay, let's go to a fancy club if you want. But I don't care. I'm open for any kind of like experience and weird stuff, and mix everything, and, you know.
What if I said, hey, man, there's a firing point break going on right now, let's go get it?
Like surfing, you mean?
Yeah.
Sure, I would go. I just came back from 2 months on the coast for my internship at Nixon, so it was really fun. We've been surfing every day. Like, I was waking up at 6 with Sylvain Boboson, another rider, to surf before working, then lunch break surfing, then after working surfing. I was really into it.
Is that secretly why you got Rip Curl as a sponsor? You're like, yeah, your jackets are okay, but I need your wetsuits.
It was part of the deal, you know, wetsuit and boards. You know, I don't know. When I was a kid, like, we've been with Victor, like, sponsored by Rip Curl, and they really took care of us, like, really well. Even if it wasn't like a core snowboard brand, like, the team managers were great, and they were snowboarders, and I don't know, it was good times. And they really put us into snowboard movies. You know, they were like, okay, we're gonna produce some snowboard movies. You're gonna go in the backcountry, build jumps. Like, yes, okay, cool. You know, some like big brands like Burton or whatever, we would have been like lost on a big team, and we were like quite in front with Ripkill, and I think it helped us a lot, at least for the first years.
So one question we ask a lot of podcast guests is kind of like, if you had to pick between your passions, which one would you stick with? So between surfing and snowboarding, if you could only do one for the rest of your life, which one would it be and why?
I would add skydiving to that list.
Oh, okay.
Okay, skydiving. It's pretty easy. Snowboarding. because you know, I've been 2 months on the coast surfing every day, and at some point I was missing snowboarding so much. You know, I realized, okay, life on the coast is so nice, but it's good for the holidays, you know, or like for the like free time or for a specific time. But I'm more attracted by snowboarding and mountains than the ocean and surfing. Then skydiving. Now I've been. My parents are skydivers. You know, they met through skydiving. I've been living in Gap because of snowboarding, because there is a really big skydive center. So kind of like skydiving pretty much brought me to the mountain. And when I first skydived, I realized that it was like such a unique feeling, you know. Snowboarding, you get some pretty crazy feeling, that's for sure. But skydiving is, wow, it's something else. You know, you're really like falling from like 4,000 meters, you know, with a parachute. It's kind of crazy when you think about it. And I really enjoyed the feeling, and I'm still enjoying it a lot. So now I do less skydive because surfing and snowboarding is taking a lot of time, and studying.
How many jumps do you have?
PhD. I have like kind of 50, but you know, I can jump alone, and I have my license to jump alone. It's, you know, sometimes on the Sundays I go like, okay, let's go jumping. But for sure, when I will do less snowboarding, I'm not sure it will happen, but I would love to do more skydiving. In the plan, it's in the plan.
Have you ever ended up pulling your chute and ending up somewhere really weird, like on somebody's property, or are you pretty controlled?
It never happened to me, but it's gonna happen for sure. For sure. Yeah, it's gonna happen.
I don't know how it works. It seems like people usually land pretty close to where they're supposed to, but it's got to happen that you end up somewhere else, right?
Yeah, you know, depending on the wind and where the plane like throw you out, it happens really easily. Yeah, definitely.
Cool. So we've got to start to wind down here, but I think that we would be remiss if we didn't ask about the Avalanche in Alaska.
Yeah. Avalanche in Alaska. Okay. What do you want to know?
I don't know. Just kind of walk us through it. What were you thinking? How did it happen?
Okay. So 3 years ago, I was shooting for Absinthe. You know, we had a pretty good season in Europe, and at some point, like, it got super warm. So we went to Whistler. We did a few spots in Whistler, but the conditions were also really difficult. So it was super tough. Like, we couldn't do like some proper backcountry jumps, and we were kind of staying there doing nothing. At some point, Vlad, the filmer, came into the room, and we're like, okay, guys, we're going to AK. Victor, do you want to come? I was like, whoa. Like that, like going to AK like that now? You know, because for me, or for like a young rider, since I'm a kid, you know, I watch the magazines, I'm like, whoa, those crazy mountains from Alaska, wow. You know, going to ride there is like an achievement. It's like the super maxi goal of your life. And I don't know, for me, it was pretty crazy. But I knew I would go, to Alaska. But I was like, okay, the day I'm going to Alaska, 2 weeks before I stop shooting, I only write lines in Europe. I get ready, I hike, I focus on free riding and stuff. But that day, Vlad, the filmer, just came into the room. We're in Whistler and said, like, okay, do you want to go to Alaska? I have to know now. I'm like, okay, I go. And so we went to Alaska. Like that, we ended up like 2 days after in Alaska, waiting for the conditions. And first line with all the absent in front of all the absent crew. I picked up for me it was like a quite easy line. Okay, Victor, like no stress. You pick up an easy line. You just enjoy. You're in Alaska. You achieve your goal. It's fun. You're with absinthe, filming with Ellies and stuff. It's so cool. Just pick up an easy line, enjoy. And I did 2 turns. I had 2 real first turns in Alaska. And then I could see like a huge crack all around me. And I had no choice than like go straight like to pass that avalanche. And then I got a small slab who stopped me, and I got into an avalanche for the first time on my first run in Alaska.
What were you thinking when you saw that crack?
I wasn't really scared. I was like, okay, now you have to react. I've been freeriding like quite a lot even before, but it never really happened to me. But I was like, okay, now Victor, you need to react, find a solution straight away. If not, something bad is gonna happen to you, so save your fucking ass off. Luckily it went well. Wasn't totally buried. I think the airbag helped me quite a lot to stay on the surface. And yeah, it was a big experience. All the crew was so shocked. Oh, Victor, it was your first line. I wasn't that shocked. So we did a small break, and then we went back in the alley with Victor and Matthew Krepel, my friends. We just went for some other lines straight away, and it went fine then. But it was it was a big experience. And also, I went back to Alaska this year, and once again, like Bodhi got into an avalanche, I got into an avalanche. It's so intense, and that's why like everything in Alaska, for me, it's at the opposite of the world. It costs so much money. You have to wait so much for the conditions. There are so many risks, and you're pushing it. And the terrain is so nice. You've been dreaming all your life for that terrain, and all that makes you like in a crazy spirit. Like when you like ride down a proper line with some good snow, and you're stoked on your riding. You're like you can't compare that feeling. It's you have so much adrenaline, and you're with your friend, and I don't know, it's fucked up. And I think that this is for that we kind of live, like we snowboarders, like this is what we're looking for, and we live for that.
Wow.
Incredible.
I can feel it just you talking about it. Like
I don't know. That's also on the big kicker, you can get those feelings too. Like when you like hike all day trying a hard trick, you hike, you slam, and then when you stomp on a scary and big kicker, a technical trick, and bam, you stomp it after putting so much energy. Same, it's like a crazy feeling. You're like, woo! Yeah. Also for the first tracks, it's always like that.
And your surfboard's never given you that feeling? Your surfboard's never given you that feeling?
Yeah, sure. I think that because I don't know, the day where I will get like crazy barrels, I guess I will get the same feeling. But I don't know. Yeah, I got some pretty good feeling.
I'm still waiting for that day too.
Yeah, I'm still waiting. I don't know. I had a few goals in my life, in the plans. and it's still on the list. This one, barreling, is still on the list. Barreling on a surfboard is still on the list, and I can't wait to delay that one.
I've taken off on some and gotten destroyed. Does that count?
No. No.
Shut me down, Nate.
I got some small barrels, but I don't want to count them. I wanted some better ones.
Yeah, you'll know. You'll know when it's the one. You'll just be like standing there, like Kanoa Igarashi.
Exactly. So
it's a whole other thing to conquer. It's a whole other part of life to try. That's a whole other part of life to conquer.
Yeah, sure. I don't know. My goals since I'm a kid were like, okay, you want to make love, done. But it's an achievement, you know.
For sure.
Yeah.
Excuse me, sex is an achievement.
I'm still waiting to do that one day.
Oh, okay. Good for you. I don't want you to be jealous, but I've done that one.
I'll let you know when I do it.
Double cork when I was a kid was like wow, you know, like seeing like David Benedict do a double cork was like wow, or GP Walker, all the guys were like
yeah,
wow, I want to do a double cork on a snowboard. Go to Alaska was also one goal. Skydive was also a goal, and now I need that fucking barrel. I have a pretty fun story. Like once my ex-girlfriend, like we were at the restaurant and suddenly there was a TV and suddenly some surf appeared on TV. I was like, oh, have you seen some surf and stuff? And later in the discussion, we were like, Victor, what's your goal in life? You know, like really something you want to do and stuff. I want to do a barrel on a surfboard. She was like, oh fuck. You know what was my goal? Have a baby. And then she was like she was so shocked that, and we weren't at all on the same page, and like she was, fuck, what the fuck I'm doing after 4 years with that kid. It was so fun, you know? That's why I say at some point, like, we're kids, you know.
Relationship over. I think that might be a good spot to wrap up, man. Thank you. This has been fucking awesome. You're the first Frenchman on the podcast, I believe.
Dang it!
There's a new goal right there.
Breaking
new ground. Time for cheese.
I'm gonna add get barreled to my goal list because it's been in my mind, but I haven't formalized it. Now it is. Thank you.
Okay, let's do this. First,
I'm gonna add have sex with a girl.
I mean, I said make love. I didn't say sex. Make love. You can do it with whoever. I don't care.
Does a hooker count? We have those in Reno.
No. No. That's fake.
What if I fall in love with her?
Come on. No.
My uncle Ray, he loved going to hookers, and one time, like after, she was like, "This might sound weird, but do you guys want to hang out sometime? Here's my number."
Okay, yeah. Maybe. You Americans are weird. That's for sure.
What's the weirdest thing you do?
Last thing. What did you think about that part in the Eternal Beauty of Snowboarding? I asked the question now.
Okay.
What do you think about it?
What did I think about? Oh, weird Americans?
Yeah. No. Just when Jérôme makes fun of the Americans in the movie.
I think we're an easy target to make fun of. You know, like we.
But we have a different.
What's up?
Was it fun for you?
Was it fun? Yeah. I mean, I can laugh at. I mean, America is a big place and we're diverse and like, you know, and I can see like why we get joked about and made fun of and stuff. You know, I don't take it too personally. Like I make fun of America. America's a weird place.
No, like everywhere, like there.
Yeah.
like everywhere. Like in France, we're pretty weird too. Like in some part of France, you have some crazy accent and crazy lifestyle. Like life's based on the soccer results. Like on the games results and stuff like that.
Yeah. I think we're all pretty weird, and we've we've hid it for a long time. But now everyone is like more open with sharing their lives on the internet, and now we're all kind of seeing how weird each other are, and we're kind of on the verge of like, oh, is this okay? Can we do this? And the more we share, we're like, whatever. Everyone does this.
Yeah.
I laughed the hardest at the shit snowboarders say section.
Yeah.
Because it was so real.
Yeah. And also, for us, like for the Frenchies, it's the sick part. This is sick.
Sick. Dude, I'm a double cork. That was sick. Back rodeo or switch double cork?
I have a pretty good one. It was fun. Just to make fun of myself, like, oh, Victor, you're ridiculous. Now I can't say the word sick anymore. I'm like too. Oh,
you're sick of it.
You're sick of sick.
Exactly.
Thanks for speaking with us.
Man, it was great. I didn't really think we were recording or whatever. I think it was just a discussion with friends. Like that.
Yeah,
that's the goal. That's the idea. Fun. Just to hear, and people like that because you get a more authentic. It's like eternal beauty of snowboarding. Like that's the authentic. Like you see Sage Kotzenberg, talk about like real stuff, and a lot of people here are like, oh, he's like an Olympian, but really he's a kid snowboarder like you and all the other
Yeah.
I got to go buy a deck of Uno cards, man. I'm like stoked.
Down, Dave.
Yeah, you should. But then I will have to teach you the French rules because Uno, you can get bored of Uno quite easily. But then we added so many like sneaky rules, and now it's pretty bitchy and pretty fun. First rule at Uno is a bitch. First rule.
Okay.
Yeah. Then we'll see later for the other one.
Okay.
Huge thanks to Mikhail Gromont for putting us in touch with Victor. And thank you for listening. If you enjoyed this episode, please share it with a friend, link it on social media, and leave a review on iTunes. Also want to give a quick shout out to Vintage Snowboard Stoke on Instagram. If you're a fan of snowboarding from the 80s and 90s, give his Instagram a follow. Until next time, peace. Jusqu'à la prochaine fois, la paix.